Alright, welcome to Star Citizen. This is a guidance video, not necessarily a guide, but it's a no-nonsense walking you through your first couple hours in the game. The first thing you're going to notice is I'm in third person. You hit F4 to change your view. You have two different third person views and one first person. Now, assuming you haven't done the tutorial, when you want to interact with things, you can tap F on some things, but for like little modules or doors, you want to hold F, mouse over, and hit open. Now, if you look in the lower right, you'll see kind of your quick list of things. So when you first start the game, you're going to wake up in a hab. I'm not in any of the starting cities. Unless you choose this station as your home station, you're not going to be here. The only reason I'm here is because it's better performance for recording. Right now I'm currently streaming. You can find me at the Beast VTuber. I'm on Twitch, Kick, X, YouTube, and soon to be Rumble. Alright, so when you come down, you want to head to the elevator. Your elevator is going to look different depending on the city you're in. You're going to go to lobby. Alright, when you get out of the lobby, you're going to want to come over this way. Now, as we go, I'm going to introduce you into things. The first thing I'm going to show you is if you press F1, it brings up your Moby Glass. This has all your basic information. Keep track of it. It has your health, your money, your username, your comms. This is where your friends list is. So this is where your jobs are. This is the map. The map is not great, but it's going to get better over time. Your journal is kind of important. It helps you keep track of some rep in the journal, but mostly it's just a good place to look up information. Assets, I never come in here. And honestly, as a new player, you don't have to worry about assets. What you need to be worrying about is your rep. This is the one thing you're going to be grinding. You're not going to be grinding money. You're going to be grinding rep. You'll make money as you do that. So, to get rep, you have to go to contacts or contracts. And then you pick which one. You're going to probably be doing something like delivery mission, some mercenary, and bounty hunter and hauling. That's it. You want to do planetary if you can, just to get started, depending on your starter ship. Now, I'm going to assume you have the most basic starter package, so the Aurora Mark II. Also, if you want to send money and you know the person's name or they're on your friends list, you pick them, you type the amount, you hit send. This I'm going to go over. These I'll go over when we get closer to take off. But for now, the first thing you're going to do when you come out of your habitation, you're always going to be near a clinic. So you head to the clinic.
Thank you.
You can do patient check-in to get a room if you need healing. Most of the time you don't, so you just skip that. You go to pharmacy.
Enjoy your stay.
You type med. And you buy a couple of med pens. I'd say about 10. Alright, cool. Or you can buy a med gun. And to refill the med gun, you use the refill.
Have a great day.
To refill the lifeguard, you actually don't type med, you type lifeguard refill. And use the search function. If you know exactly what you're looking for, you'll find it quicker than scrolling, usually. At least that's what I do. Now, insurance is where you do your regen. This is where you set your respawn point. So if you want to respawn someplace, like right there, this keeps me from going back to Area 18 when I die. This keeps me in the system at the station I want to be at. Alright, so we bought some meds. Cool. Now we're going to go to the central hub. And again, depending on what city you're in, depends on how that will look.
I'll be honest.
Alright, so assuming you start in Nix, this is where you'd come. You hold down F, you look at it, and you hold down F. You press F to quick buy, so you can look at it. You left click to drink it, you right click to store it. I'm sorry, to carry it. So if we want to drink it, we do this. Left click, hold left click to drink. Let it go. We drink about 48%. We store it with right click, and you have to have your helmet off. So you learn to hold F to do things, or tap F, or hold F and use your mouse cursor. That's another thing you can do. You want to tap F to buy one of these? Cool. This will put it on your person. If you hold F, it will send it to your local inventory. Grab a couple of those. Now, if you want to press F4 to go into third person, you can. Always good. So, you want to put your helmet on, you hit Alt, left Alt, hold it down, and hit H. I usually hold left Alt with my pinky, and then press the other key with my index. And it puts our helmet on. And recently they made it where putting your helmet on was like a whole animation and everything. It's interesting how new that is. Anyway, like I said, we're kind of on the clock, so I'll probably cut some of this out. Maybe. Now, we want to go to... You want to look for a storage access right here. It looks like this. There'll be different colors, but they all look the same. This opens up your inventory. Let's get you familiar with that. This is everything we bought. Well, I had some of this on me already, but this is the stuff that we put away. And this is the stuff we held F on. So, if you want to move it over quickly, you can drag it into your hand. It usually works. Or you can right click and click carry. Also works. And then you just drag it off. You can drag it off of the hand, but dragging it on the hand doesn't always work. It's kind of bugged right now. It'll probably work in the near future. So, you want to move something over quickly, you hold shift and double click. And that's a quick transfer. Or you can hit move all. And then move all back. Ta-da. Alright, but we want these two, just, something to drink on the road, something to have a snack. But we also, what else do we need? Well, we need weapons. So, I'm actually going to take these off and show you how to apply them. You want to have all your med stuff right here that you can. So you hold left control and double click. And that will add it in its designated area. Or you can right click, hit self heal. That will instantly use it. Then you go back in. And I think if you hit equip, it'll put it. So yeah. Alright, well, we don't need all that. What we need now are... Let's outfit you with some guns. Starting a new character? No, I'm not starting a new character. Alright, let's outfit some guns. Well, I don't have any good guns. So let's go to some place to buy guns. we're gonna go to cargo. At least that's where you'd go. Central hub. Cargo. Now for you, it's gonna be in the central hub, but you want to look for like different signs. I'm just showing you where it is here. Different cities have different things. Normally you want to go to like a if you're on a space station, you want to go to a Galleria. Alright, what gun do we want? We want a... Well, we can look it up. Or we can type click all categories and go to personal weapon. And then pick a gun from there. I say we do... The SMG isn't bad. Not what I was quite looking for this, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So we're gonna do a quick buy.
You picked a good one. I'll have it sent to you shortly.
And then you go to attachments, because for whatever reason, ammo is considered an attachment. And then you think about what you bought. All right, so we bought the P8. Type in P8. This is the fastest way to find the ammo. This is for the P8 AR. This is for the P8 SC, SMG. This is what you want. But you don't want a quick buy. You want to buy, I don't know, however many mags you want. Just remember how much money you have. So 200 is too much. You're probably starting with like, I'd say you're starting with 50,000, right? I would say buy 10. And then we bought the scalpel. Buy 5 of those. I bought 6, it's fine. I have plenty of money. But you want to buy accordingly. Then you want to come over here. Come back to storage access. You can do all this in any order the order you do it doesn't really matter. Alright, well you can move this over and then move it down. And sometimes, like I said, it doesn't want to do the thing. Or you can control left click to add it, or just control left click from here to add it. And like the parts right here, you can control left click to add them to whatever. Didn't add it to the gun that I wanted it to, so we'll drag it down. Fun fact, if you get... There's a pistol in the game called the Arclight. Put a couple little mods on it. It's a really good starting pistol. Actually, it's a really good pistol in general, but you can get it just about anywhere. It's a laser pistol. Okay, so we forgot to get our ammo. So if you know what you're looking for, you have your all category. Just, I want ammo, so I click on the ammo tab. All right. I'm going to double click. I'm going to control, double click, control, double click, and fill in the rest of those. You want this to be all your ammo, because that's where your ammo goes. That's where your grenades and your glow sticks go. You don't ever use the glow sticks, but they go there. Now you come down here to utility, and this is where you find like your multi-tool. I'm gonna get in that in a second. And we'll grab the rest of those. Just using the same hotkeys that I was showing you. Now, if you want to swap out weapon scopes or whatever you have in inventory, see right now my multi-tool says mining. That's the attachment I have, but I also have a healing thing in here. So that's my healing ammo. We'll call it ammo for the sake of it. All right, that's your mining attachment. Cool. I thought I got the other stuff.
I hope everything works out.
Apparently I did not. And sometimes you make mistakes. So,
That's a good word.
there's two ways to do this. You can do this the cool attachment UI kind of way. And now I'm doing salvaging, assuming you have an SRT Cambrio thing in there, which you would, to do that, you would take this out and put that in. But we can't do that in here, so we're not going to worry about it. Salvaging is a different loop we're not going to worry about. Another way to do this is find like your tractor beam, hold down, control, double click, and it will put it on there. Now, when you're using the multi-tool to heal, if you're using the multi-tool, you right-click and he will aim the gun at himself, or the multi-tool. He'll aim at himself and then you left-click to heal. If you're using the paramed gun that takes up the pistol slot, you can't have a pistol and a paramed gun. But if you're using the paramed gun, you actually don't hold right-click like you do with the multi-tool. You tap B to use it on yourself. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. All right, now we call our, well, first we go to our ASOP terminal, our little fleet manager.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval
And I have a lot of ships, so I'm gonna have to do the search function. What is it I'm looking for? Well, I can see what's here by using this. Turning this on will tell you what's in the current station inventory. But my ship that you have, which is the Aurora Mark II, isn't here. So go to search, type in MKII. It'll show you all the Mark IIs. There it is. It's currently on the pad, so I don't have to store it, but you would click claim or deliver or whatever. So if I want to claim this, I file a claim.
insurance claim.
To save money, I wait the 11 minutes. Or I pay the expedite fee,
Thank you.
and it cuts it down to 3
Your
minutes.
vehicle has been moved.
But we don't care about that. We're going to our ship. So we hold F, click what we want, because holding F gives you the cursor. Then we mouse over all this, we scroll down, we find ours, we go there. Very simple. Trust me, it seems more complicated than it really is. It's more about building just straight habit. All right, now before we go on, check our third person, make sure we got everything. All right, cool. A little dark over here. If you want to turn your flashlight on, it's T. T for torch. But if you're using your ship lights, it's L for light. And if you want to use what's called lamp, it's right Alt plus L. So you'd hold right Alt and hit L. All right, this is your ship. Again, assuming you don't know anything about any of this. And we got a little tractor beam out. Perfect. So you go over to your hatch, hold F, click it, or just tap F. Just tap it. That's fine. Because it only has one function. When it has more than one function, you want to hold it, click it. Or if it's further away, you can hold it and click it. Yeah, just tap F. These, hit T to bring up your light. These are your weapons racks. So you're going to take your gun, and you can place it right here by tapping F. Take your other gun, place it. There you go. Good job. Now, this is your armor locker. Don't worry about it. This is a very important thing I'm going to show you. If you're in deep space and you need to log out real quick, but you don't have time to go back, and you have a bed, you can do what's called a bed log. So, don't sit. Do not sit down. Hold F, and it will bring up a command wheel. You're going to lie down. All right. I can turn the lights on. I can do different things in here. Emergency lights, auxiliary lights, just on. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna free look down with my mouse. It's gonna say get up. You're gonna hold F and see where it says bed log? It's not an option because I'm in a landing area, but bed log is the thing. Now if I want to get up, I can hit F or I can just press W. I always just press W. Here's your engineering terminal. In a small ship like this, you will not really use the terminal very often, so there's not a lot of reason to look at it right now. Bigger ships, it matters more. In a tiny ship, you will use the terminal on the pilot seat. You have multiple choices here. You can hit U for up. So you press U, it turns on everything in flight ready. Cool. Hit U again, it turns everything off. Another thing you can do if you want, you can hold F and look around. You can also hold Z or tap Z for free look. Huh. I didn't know that was there. Hold on. That's interesting. Anyway, that might be the light for the back of the cab. If it is, oh wow. I don't know how many people know about that because I've never seen anybody talk about it. Everybody said it was dark in here. I've never seen that light before. That is amazing. I'm glad I did this tutorial. I'd learned something new. Look at that. Even I can learn something new. Alright, so you can free look down, but you might not get all the stuff. So you have VTOL. We'll go over that in a moment. You have flight ready. That is the one you usually want to use. Now hold F and look at your power output. You can hold F as long as you're not like on it directly. You can scroll up to zoom in. Okay, so we have power output. We don't need anything to engines yet because one pip is all you need. These are called pips, by the way. You want to max out your shield, and this little bastard doesn't really need life support. So we'll put a little more towards weapons. Yeah. Because we have our helmet on, we don't really care about life support. We don't have a med bed anyway. But if you want to stop to eat or drink inside the ship, which you can, you want to turn life support back on. Also, always and forever, make sure your helmet's on inside your ship. When you take it off to eat or drink, that's fine, but put it back on. Now, if you want to learn camera control, and this works in first person and ship view, you can hold F4. Just don't press Alt. Hold F4, press 1 on the numpad, 2 on the numpad, and then the rest don't really do anything, but you can hold Z. Or you tap Z to get free look. Then you hold F4 and you can use the arrow keys to move around. You can use page up and down. And you can find one you like and then hold down the num button. So num 3 while holding F4. Hold num 3. It'll save your whatever you're looking at. It'll save it. I've got a few. That's one of them. Now you can use, while holding it, hit minus to zoom in and plus to zoom out. Also, if you continue holding F4, by the way, hit home, just tap that up a lot to change the focus, and end to reduce the focus. So if you want to get those really cinematic looking shots, like right there, that'll probably be my thumbnail. Which is great. You cannot take off your helmet while you're sitting down. Just so you know. Alright. So, now, real quick, cycle config on this ship just does the wings. So if you want to like rock that original Aurora look, that's good. Alright. What else can you do in the ship? There is a open all button. Open all exterior. What that's going to do is open all the exterior doors. That means your main entrance, any cargo, and for some cases, that includes your components, assuming you're gold standard. So you can see the components opened up on top. Now with this ship, you can do something really interesting. I'm going to show you something else. Hold right Alt and hit K. Ship ports unlocked. This is how you change out your components, your weapons, physically, right? The other way to do that, and the ship has to be stored at that location, is go to Vehicle, find your ship, and in here you'll see everything. This is where you put on your different paint jobs, your different thrust, jump modules, weapons, all that. Unequip, re-equip, done. And always, every time you do a change, save. Save. Do not forget to save. And another thing, for some reason, jump modules will be missing. So come in here, go to your, not configuration, not communication, diagnostics. Look for a jump module. If you do not have a jump module, you want to go to either you want to go to a station, either Nick Station, Stanton Station, Pyro Station. Either way, you want to go to a jump or a gate station to buy one. And depending on how big your ship is, depends on the size. So you have size 1, 2, and 3. This ship is a size 1. Alright. Now, let us lock the ports, Alt-K, right Alt-K. That's weird. Alright, but you see, oh. Alright, well you see how I took this out, right? Now, for you, it probably won't say like Indy 1A Palisade. It'll probably just say like Palisade and size 1. I have a little bit of a mod file for my language. It's just to help me out. I'll show you guys how to do that in another video if you want. Uh-oh. Alright, so you want an item misaligned. You want to try and get it aligned. You hold R and you rotate it with your mouse. Up. When it turns green, click. And then close it. And you can go over here and you can close everything manually. And it's kind of the same with this thing on the back. This is a modular piece. You can take it off. But we're not going to do that. I want to know why my guns are being... You can't engage them with the wings in. So maybe you can't... Maybe the wings have to be extended. Yep, it was a config. All right, so let's say you want to swap out the NN14 cannons for some attritions. You can do that. Whoop. Look at that. There you go. I'm proud of you. If you're actually like going along and doing this with me, and you just figured that out, be proud of yourself. A lot of new players will not know how to do any of this stuff. And it's because new players are constantly asking how to do this shit that I'm making this video. Alright, use right alt K to lock the ports back, make the error message go away. Alright, now we are good for takeoff. To make all that close exterior. Or you can just tap it again. It did not close the top. Why did you not close the top? Oh, because it opened it. There we go. That was weird. It's not perfect. Real quick, if you ever board another person's ship and you plan to steal it, or you're salvaging or whatever, this is very important. Go here, right click, don't open all, press to unlock, click it. Now when you go through that ship, you don't have to fight doors. They will open anytime you press the button. It saves a massive amount of ammo and a massive headache. I steal Polaris's and Perseus's all the time. I always have to do that. Otherwise, I'll be locking myself out. Now, remember how we were talking about the config? Interestingly enough, if you, for winged ships like this, you can hit left alt K and it will change the config. If you press just normal K, you go into what's called VTOL. There's supposed to be an animation for that. There we go. Now VTOL, if I remember correctly, is just to help you maneuver in atmosphere better. You don't necessarily use it in space. I may be wrong, but I think it's just mostly to help maneuvering in atmosphere. Especially around the ground. All right, now let's have a look at this. ESP you don't care about. VTOL, we'll turn that off when we get in the air. CPLD stands for coupled. Coupled mode is like driving a car. You hold W, you go forward. You let go of W, it brings you gradually to a stop. Press Alt C and you have cruise control. Press up to increase your cruise, press down to bring it back. Now, this icon here, the wheel down, that's your landing gear. Below it, the plus sign. The plus sign means you're moving forward. If it is a negative, that means you're going in reverse. All right, press C to come out of coupled mode and go into decoupled. Decoupled means whatever your forward momentum is the direction you're going to keep going. So in atmosphere, you stay in coupled. The more you get used to flying, the less you'll use coupled. But for your first flight, it's fine. All right, now we're gonna take off. Finally, I know. So there are multiple ways to do this. One of them is going to your comms. Good friends, you'll have the station. Right click, invite to party. You can do it that way, or double click. I don't think you invite to party, I think you just double click. And it opens the little comm window for a second, then it'll close it and do the thing. The majority of people are going to hold left alt and press N. Hangar request. Some people call it landing request. I call it a hangar request because you use it for coming and going. All right, press space, get some air. You can, again, tap it. You don't want to go too fast. I like to do cruise control at a very low speed coming out. Now, because my landing gear is down, my speed is severely dampened and limited. All I gotta do is turn off landing gear and my speed will go up. All right, we went from 3 to 34, not bad. All right, well, we don't need VTOL because we're not around a planet. All right, cruise control, hold W, let it max out. If you need more speed, hold shift. Just hold shift. Okay. If you don't want cruise control, let it go. Turn off cruise control with Alt-C, and you will coast to a stop. Just like that. Turn off coupled mode, and go. Now, it's not going to go full speed. It will eventually settle. There you go. So whatever your max speed here is, it's going to basically just keep you going. Now notice how that little icon right there, I think that's also called a pip. I don't know why. I forget what it's called, but basically wherever that is where you're going to go. You can turn freaking sideways, but you're always going to be going that direction. And look at that. When you look away from it, you slow down. And now we're in the negative. That means we're going backwards. Up, we're now in the forwards. We can move it down with control. Just hold control. Don't look at it. This, in deep space, like this is where you want to practice this because this is where it's more fun. Just make sure you don't, accidentally press tab. Just make sure you don't accidentally hit anything. Now, let's take our first contract. My suggestion, don't do that. If you don't know what's in front of you for a long distance, this is just pressing tab to send out a scan. All right, nothing in front of me for a while. So we can just go to contracts, pick up a contract. Let's pick up something cheap. Cargo recovery. Well, it doesn't tell me how big the cargo is, but it's 31,000, so it can't be very big. It's usually one of these is going to be like 1 SCU, so we'll take it. All right, now that we've taken it, you see the yellow ring or the yellow icon. You want to go to that. So you turn you turn couple back on. You can even turn cruise control, your choice. All right. Well, that's gigameters. Gigameters is way too far to just fly. So you're going to want to do a quantum jump or quantum travel. To quantum travel, you hold B. Now, you hear I said shields are off. Look up in the top left, you'll see my shields have gone down. When you're quantum traveling, you have no shields. So, be careful. Let me come out of quantum real quick. Alright. You see a lot of places I can go with quantum traveling. But I want to go to the beacon. I can either look at it, let it spool up, be ready, hold down, fly on. Or, that bugs out sometimes. The alternative is go to your map. So you press F2. You can press F1 like I just did, but to get there, the hotkey is F2. Click this. It'll take you to the thing on the map. It'll say route. click route. Close it, and it will only, when you route, it only shows you where you're going. If you need a route to a body, like say you died in space and you want to route back there and get your stuff, it will have your body on the side here somewhere. And a teammate, if you have somebody in your party. I don't have anybody, so I can't show it. Alright. We're ready, let's go. And if at this point, you can get up. If you're traveling high speed outside of quantum, don't get up. You'll fall down. Alright, we're gonna take our helmet off. No, we're not. We're gonna put it back on because what I say. I don't think my life support is on. See? I almost choked to death. I almost died. Now we get up. Alright, now we can take our helmet off. And we'll eat something. So carry. Come out of your inventory and just hold left click to eat or right click to store if you press the wrong thing. Alright. Now the interesting thing is when you eat food, it destroys the container. But when you drink, it does not destroy the container. Now you can drink if you want. We don't really need to, so we're not going to. But we didn't really need to eat either. I drag that off. Put our helmet back on before we sit down. And we'll sit back down. And you know what? This may make us go a little faster, it may not. When I'm in quantum, I want to have one pip in life support. Because that's usually when I'm moving about the ship. Now this ship is really small, so I'm not going to be moving about it very much. Anyway, we're just going to sit here and stare at each other longingly. Alright, we're here. You want to turn off quantum. Now keep this in mind. If you're in a hurry to get there, you can leave quantum on. I turn it off because it's easier to approach slowly. 10 kilometers isn't a whole lot. Alright, well that ship almost rammed us. Okay, we gotta retreat the cargo, but we got 2 bogeys. Let's show you how to fight. You want to turn off. You want to fight in decoupled. This way you're not living with. You don't have to hold down W all the time. You will strategically move and increase or decrease speed strategically. Now I have NN13s. The other guy shooting at me, I'm not that worried. They're just Mustangs. Even though they've got me in a 1v2, I kind of hold the advantage. Because I have better weapons. As long as they don't hit my nose directly. Now, if you want to, you might not have that directly on.
Taking heavy fire.
Like I said, you don't want to hold W because you want to fight them in proximity to each other. It makes it easier to aim. I'm doing a terrible job aiming. All right, he's getting a little further away. Now my guns are on a gimbal. But I'm fighting ungimbaled. Oh. Sometimes you gotta break off, get away from the fight, let your shields regroup. And don't be afraid to, you know, do some barrel rolls. Okay, they just managed to hit the 4 HP on the nose. Of course they did. I'm gonna let my shields regroup and then we'll go back at them. Now, press G to gimbal or lock gimbal. If your gimbal is unlocked, you might have an easier time. Another thing you can do is hit middle mouse to swap to missile. Hit tab for a target lock. Now you hold plus and press G to get a couple more missiles. We want to get away from them so we can get a better missile lock. We'll just go fly by. Hold on. Full burn the thrust. There we go. And there we go. Wait for him to reload. Oh, he's done. We'll go clean him up. Don't worry about that guy. You want to come over here and finish this one off? He's death spinning. He's done. Like I said, fighting with no gimbal, and you get better hits when your gimbal is locked. If you unlock the gimbal, it makes it easier for a new fighter. So always use G to unlock your gimbal. Now you see in the upper left how I have a lot of red. That means all the armor is gone and my hull is completely exposed there. It's basically if I take any more damage on that red spot, I'm going to die. Like I said, you don't want to fight in, you can fight in cruise control, but you're going to be jousting way more. Look at that. Now you can do this with just about any... Oh, hello. You can do this with just about any weapons, but I use the NN... I believe these are 12? 14? I'm trying to remember. Alright, now we have to go retrieve the cargo. Now this does not pay a lot. So, the main thing you want to do is grind rep. Whether you're hauling or... Okay. We're just gonna light him up. And he's gone. Perfect. Alright, so you can turn off cruise. Just make sure when you turn off cruise and you have a ways to go, just turn off coupled. Hard space brake. X is your space brake. Hold it. You don't want to go too crazy. Another thing you can do is, like, I'll take us a little further away. You can just naturally slow down. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to hold W in this game. Even when you're in a hurry, you're not in that much of a hurry. Because a crash is your ass. Oh, I held a little too long. Press X. When you press X to space brake, whatever your cruise control is set to, it just comes all the way to 0. Now, if your planet side turn off your thrusters with I.
Engines are off.
O turns off your shields. You want to leave those on. P turns off your weapons.
System is off. Weapons
And
system is on.
I think it's like F5 and all of them
Engines
calibrate. F5 and whatnot puts more like pips into certain things, but
engines are off.
for now, learn to do that manually, and then as we go, maybe in a future tutorial, we'll go over it. Anyway, turn off your engines, make it a habit. Make sure your helmet's on. Double check, helmet is on. Open the door. Get your tractor beam, you might need it. Probably not. I think this kind of cargo is usually like 1 SCU or smaller. So either you can carry it by hand, but it said bring a tractor beam. Sure. Space break. Go over here, find the door, press F. This was a mistake. Okay, this is a case of your ship is not big enough. You can carry none of this. Like if you had the right module, you could carry these. You could carry these, but you can't carry this. Too big. So, how do you turn in the cargo? Let's close the doors. Close, open, close. There is a cheat. It's not really a cheat, it's not an exploit, that's full 64 SCU. Yeah. It is. The problem was when I looked at the contract, it didn't tell me how much. So, if you are in a situation like this, you can just go in there, assuming it boots up. Yeah, it's full damage, but you can actually just fly the ship back. You could rent a Cutlass, but what I'm doing right now is kind of, it's a test stream, but I'm also kind of just like recording for YouTube a new player tutorial. But that's true, you could rent a Cutlass. Alright. Oh, sorry. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. Because you can rent bigger ships. Alright, so if you want to turn this in, you press B. Because we have... We want the service station, there it is. Normally, you would go out, you would tractor beam it to your ship. And then you would take it, right? But in this situation, you just steal the ship you need to steal. You take it to where you go. You need to take it. And then we'll offload it there. And that will conclude your very first mission. Again, your missions will probably not look like this. I am doing this in Nyx. Uh-oh. Oh no, what is going on here? Alright, and we just arrived at our drop-off location. We're back. We're cutting back. Okay, so this is where we need to be. Can't see a thing. This is what lamp looks like, by the way. I think it's right Alt L is for lamp. That's very bright. I don't think we need that right now. When I do thrust, it makes me want to go up. I don't like that. I'm fighting the ship. So we're going to use cruise control because it's a little bit better. And we're kind of far away, but what did I say earlier? Get there safely, not quickly. Oh, that's bright. Too bright. Way too bright. But we can just press normal L for ship lights. Now, when you take a ship that is kind of unruly, just take it slow. Alright, we're going to slow down. Now, after a while, the hangar requests will go away. And they'll close the doors. If they do that, don't even worry about it. You just worry about being safe. Because you can always get right up at the door and request it again. 50 is a little fast. Let's bring her down a little bit. Or, now there are landing pads here. We could use that. But I want to show you a trick. Well, it's not really a trick. I just want to show you what it's like. Just go all the way and get it done. Now, what I say, landing gear down, it gives you a little more control sometimes. All right, they're closing it. We just request landing again. There we go. It's reopening the doors. No big problem. And we come in. And we're going to hit VTOL for a little more control. And like I keep telling you guys, get there slow and safe. You're not playing Call of Duty. You don't have to run around everywhere. You don't want to worry about money at this point. You're new. You want a little bit of money that comes with the missions, but you mostly want the rep. The rep will lead to better missions. Always turn your engines off. What kind of tutorial would this be if I didn't show you how to repair your ship? Alright, this ship is shot all to hell, right? It's just broker than broke. Doesn't look like it, but it is. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go to landing. Anytime you land on a pad, you need to refuel in a hangar, pad, another ship, whatever. Because that's a feature that's coming soon. You want to repair, refuel, rearm if you need it. Now you see that red in the upper left? That should go away. And there we go. Major torque imbalance is still there, but that's probably just a visual bug. And you know what? We'll leave the ports unlocked. We'll steal the weapons. Watch this. And from here, it's just a simple case of offloading everything into the freight elevator. So send that on. But hopefully everything's fixed. Okay, it didn't close the doors. That's weird. So it's a little bit buggy. Alright, we're going to send everything down. Now this should say mission complete. And look at that, mission complete. You got a little bit of money. You got some rep. And you completed your first mission. And you stole some guns. Congratulations, citizen. Welcome to the verse. And look at that. You got free guns. This stuff right here, you start off with 55,000. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't made an account yet, use the creator code. Use my creator code. It helps give you more money. So do that. Alright. So we're going to send those down. That's like 6 guns for free. Anyway. That's it. That is your first mission. Go on. What are you still doing here? Get in your ship. Fly around. Do more combat. Do more deliveries. Find the loop that you love. Grind, rep in that loop. And that's how you're going to make your money. And in the next video, like I said, we'll do some ground combat, and then we'll do some mining and salvaging videos. There'll be more stuff coming. But for now, I'm the Beast. I love you guys. And I'll see you in the verse. Later.